Hi guys, I hope you're all well. In this video I want to discuss something I've talked about on my Instagram this week, but because Instagram only allow for a minute videos, I wanted to do an extended version of that on YouTube. And that is this topic of starting out your fat loss phase on as many calories as possible while still making fat loss progress. Now, what do most people do when they enter a fat loss phase? They usually do two things, one of which is to do endless amounts of cardio, and the second thing is to just slash their calories to go as low as possible. And there's a couple of reasons why this just isn't an effective approach to take. The first thing we need to realize is that fat loss plateaus are all part of the process. There will be stagnation in progress during any fat loss phase, and that's your cue to make a change to either calories or training. So if you start the fat loss phase with loads of cardio and very little calories, you're basically backing yourself into a corner because you have no room to actually make changes from. Whereas on the flip side, if we start from a more conservative point, i.e. more moderate calories while still making fat loss progress, less cardio, this allows room to make changes when we do reach a plateau. So as soon as we reach plateau, we've got plenty of room to add cardio, and on the flip side, we've got plenty of calories to play with to make a change to continue with the energy deficit need for fat loss. It's also important for another reason, and that reason is maintaining muscle mass and strength within the fat loss phase. Now, if you start your fat loss phase on barely any calories at all, your gym performance is going to drop significantly. You're going to lose a lot of strength, and as a result, you're going to lose a lot of muscle mass as well. You're not going to be able to maintain the same loads you were using previously. So again, we need to look at our hierarchy of importance within the fat loss phase, and there's two key things we need to focus on. One is obviously trying to maximize fat loss. The second thing is actually to maintain as much muscle mass as possible. So by being too aggressive with the energy deficit from the start, this just allows us no room to make changes, and in addition to that, it's going to result in lots of muscle mass loss, strength loss, etc., and even adherence as well. If you start out the fat loss phase on too little calories, it's going to be very difficult to stick to in the long term, whereas a more conservative approach, and then you're making changes when required, i.e. a fat loss plateau, adherence to the plan is going to be much better, and as a result, your end results will be better. Now, despite what I've just said, a good example of this where this may not be the case is when we've got an individual with a very short-term deadline, i.e. they have a holiday fast approaching. Ideally, they would have started the fat loss phase much sooner, but let's just assume that they only have 4 to 6 weeks left until the holiday and needs to make some drastic changes. This would probably be the one caveat where you would start the fat loss phase much more aggressively, i.e. consuming less calories and more cardio in addition to the weight training. So just a couple of things to think about. Be conservative initially, aim for that 0.5 to 1% weight loss per week, because we're trying to maintain as much muscle mass and strength in the fat loss phase, and that's a very good rate of weight loss while still maintaining muscle mass. So hopefully this has been useful. If you've liked the video, please like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you very much.